That's a microphone and job. I congratulate her. Mother's Day is totally different than what it was. So, official photographer.
So the first thing I'd like to do is to thank all those people from other parts of IFC who are here this evening. You're all invited precisely because you've had a very special role in what we're up to. So thank you very much to you. The real objective of tonight is to say thank you to all the spouses who are here this evening. And you're the people who actually bear the brunt of the heavy work schedule, the frequent travel. Somebody's got to keep the show on the road at home, and I know a number of you also work as well, and this is sort of doubly trying. So for you spouses, particularly, this is your evening. So I'd like to just pause right now and have each of us raise a glass to our respective spouse and whoever is sitting next to that you're all contributing to. What are the sacrifices in aid of? And I do not think it's an exaggeration to say that we are in the process of creating a truly unique organization. One that marries commercial capital with development needs. And why do I know that? Because that's the opening line of our new website that went live this morning. So check it out. And so I remember when I came here exactly 5 years ago, before actually even starting work, one of the first emails I got was from somebody saying, you've got to have your own website, you've got to have your own email addresses, etc., etc. And I said, no, I think we'll stick with ifc.org, and we'll sort of fly under the radar screen for a while. And I think 5 years later, we now have something to talk about that I think we feel very comfortable actually having our own page on the IFC website with a lot of information about what we've been up to. And it's quite an interesting story. I mean, if you think back to when IFC was created over 50 years ago, and the founders of IFC actually had a very bold, innovative idea. And believe it or not, there was a debate going on in the mid-50s as to whether or not IFC should be funded by private capital or by World Bank shareholders. There was a firm conviction from bank staff at the time that IFC should be privately funded and completely separate from the bank. But they did also acknowledge that trying to mix public and private might be quite difficult. And that is what we are trying to do. 50 years later, if you think about it, IFC has pioneered the concept of the double bottom line, that you can make money at the same time as having a profound development impact. And it's really a triple bottom line, with doing all that in a sustainable way. And what we at AMC are trying to do is effectively to double down on the double bottom line. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to prove that commercial investors can indeed do well by doing good, by investing with us. So that's our objective. What have we done so far? We're 5 years old on July the 1st. And there are some stats which I think we should all be quite sort of pleased about. We've raised $6.3 billion of capital. We've invested $3.8 billion of that in 54 different companies and funds across 33 different countries. And it really spans the globe. It's, east, west, north, south, large, small, high, low. Since last year, we have added a number of new investors. We're now up to 27 different LPs in our different funds. And if you think about the significance of this, it now means that if you count all the countries we've invested in and all the countries from whom we have investors, we now have 15 of the 32 countries that are competing in the World Cup next month. So our chances of victory are almost 50%. The thing that I'm most proud of is the team that we have recruited and retained. It is a remarkable fact that 5 years in, there isn't a single investment professional who's actually chosen to leave AMC except to go to business school. And I really think that's a remarkable achievement, and it's because of the joint effort that all of you have been involved in making this very much a team effort, both across IFC in general and within AMC across the different teams. We do actually have, believe it or not, 31 different nationalities represented in AMC. Of the people who've joined since last year, it's 12 new countries. Basil, thank you for contributing 3.
Yeah, 3.
All in one go. Trifecta.
Yeah.
So that takes us to 31. So the main thing I'd like to do today is thank all of you at AMC for your extremely hard work. So this is a personal thank you. I'll particularly mention the 4 AMC mothers who have given birth whilst working at AMC: Linda, Eileen, Kim, and Ted. Thank you very much indeed for staying with us and to turn to our board members. And thank you all for all the wisdom and gentle nudges here and there. Jin Yong unfortunately had to go to an urgent client meeting in New York, so he can't be with us tonight. But we do have Declan, Guy and Bob all with us, so if you'd each just like to stand for a moment, I want to thank you for And I do believe that a couple of you may want to say a word or two before I just wrap up here.
I'm Guy Shazal, and I've actually been involved for about 6 years, I think now. And this was just a sort of an idea that Lars and Declan and a couple of you had. And I'm amazed to see the size of the group tonight. I didn't know anything about the IFC when I first got involved. And I knew something about the World Bank. I heard of the World Bank. And I now know that the IFC is a fantastic group. The biggest issue that I think we all see is that you've done a spectacular job up to now, raising the funds, building the teams, making great investments. The key now is to harvest those investments and work on those investments. So as a board member, I just want to take this opportunity to say that to you. There's a lot of hard work in front of you. You will continue to raise these large funds going forward, provided you have that great rate of return. I know you can do it, but I just wanted to take this opportunity to say that. But having said that, it's a fantastic group, and I'm very, very proud to be part of it. So thank you.
Good evening. My name is Bob Posen, and I'm also a board member. I want to thank Deck, who's not going to talk today, because he's the one who actually provides us guidance through the labyrinth of the World Bank. And, many years ago, in the mid-'80s, when Fidelity was a small company, I was interviewed to work there, and I wound up working there and being president. But at that time, Ned Johnson was chairman, and he still is now. And I thought you might be interested to see what happened is I went through all these interviews, and then I was given a lunch with Ned, which of course was the ultimate. And at the end of the lunch, we got along great, but no one had ever given me a job description. So I said to Ned, you know, I really, if I'm going to come to work here, I'd sort of like somebody to tell me, like, what's my job description? And he said, you really want a job description? I said, yeah, it would be very helpful. And he said, okay, here it is. Figure out what needs to be done and do it. And I've really come to believe that that is really the way to run an organization, because you really want everybody in the organization. And I've developed a bit of a theory. I call it own your own space. It's really up to all of you guys to really own your own space and figure out in these funds and in these projects what needs to be done. And I'm very proud of the group here, because I come to the board meetings and I listen to the projects, and I really think that is a very different ethos than I've seen in other places of the World Bank. I have to admit, I was once a consultant to the World Bank and went through that very painful process of dealing with the World Bank bureaucracy. But I think this group really has it right. People understand that each of these funds needs to stand on its own. They take the initiative to figure out deals to get them done, and that's what I call owning your own space. So I congratulate you on bringing a new spirit to the World Bank Group, and I look forward to more funds, more successes, and more deals. Thank you very much.
A couple of thank yous. First of all, thank you to the Whitmore House for hosting us tonight, and occasions for handling all the catering. Thank you to all the photographers, particularly Barrow, who's taking photos of the board earlier today, Glocos, and our sort of White House press corps here. Most of all, Claire, thank you very much for organising this whole event and also keeping the show on the road at work. And then finally, on a personal level, the most important thing for me, Odile, thank you very much for keeping the show on the road at home. Thank you very much.